Wait a second. Are they even interchangeable? Oh, I don't think these are interchangeable. That's not good news. Oh well. Damn. AJ, what's up? Well, I bought a set of G10 scales for a pair of 3, and I'm not sure if the G10 scales fit on the lightweight platform. Well, that's not fun. $99? Yeah, right. For a set of scales. No. The early bird does not get to be a mod. Well, that's no fun. Wish I would have known that. Oh well, I have a spare set of scales. Stick them on the... No, never mind. Dang, we got 6 people in here. That is a lot less than usual. Maybe if we started doing something instead of me just looking on my other phone, people would actually show up. It seems as though we are sick. My sister's friend got sick. Then she got sick. And now I'm starting to get what she has. So that's quite the joyous occasion. Oui, oui. Sure, that works. Now, what do we do? Because I have nothing to do right now. I don't even think I have anything to talk about. I have nothing to sharpen. And you wonder why I keep telling you guys to drink water. I don't have anything to do. Genuinely, one of the worst things on live streams is having nothing to do. Because if I have nothing to do, there's no reason for me to be live streaming. Ooh, water. Okay, so how does that lead to dehydration? Soda has water in it. Yeah. I guess I have one knife that we can sharpen. And I'm kind of tired of waiting. I'm pretty sure I didn't take this one apart because I had issues undoing some of the screws on it. Okay. Coke still has water in it. That is the reason it is a liquid. We'll get this thing to be sharper than that. No worries at all. Well, I see you guys got the internet package too. I don't have any fruit today. That would be how I got my first decent watch. Oh, I can breathe. Finally. Which means the other side's probably going to be plugged up here in a sec. I kind of stopped watching YouTube shorts and YouTube live streams because a lot of them are full of people that I wonder how they are alive. Thank God. How's it going, BS? Yeah, most people find my my channel when they're supposed to be going to sleep for work tomorrow. I'm taking a knife apart so that I can modify it, but I'm having some troubles with that. It is not going the way that I had planned. The vise is to help hold the knife in one place. That's why I haven't taken it apart yet. Oh, you son of a bitch. That one right there was $19 at Harbor Freight. I got it for $17 because of an Inside Track Club membership at the time, but regular price is $19.99. It's cast aluminum. It's not cast iron, though. I'm not sure if that's going to be a deal breaker for you. Well, when you price stuff well and the products are good enough, then yeah. So if you go on Google and you look up $17 Harbor Freight Vice, it'll show up. It should be the first thing to show up. Even though it's not $17 anymore, at the time it was, so. It's the name of the game. So now there's the question, do I risk destroying a bit to take this off? I should clarify that. Destroying another bit to take that off. So the modification I will be doing is a custom copper patina. I mean, it's just a bit. It's not that big of a deal. It's just annoying to try and get new ones. And you get them for free. It's not like a big deal at all. Again, just more annoying than anything else. And I'll be sharpening it, which is likely what I'll be doing next. You should see my other one, the one that I finished the patina with. You son of a bitch! I'll show you in a little bit. I gotta try my best to make this work. That's not moving. Nope, not dyeing anything purple tonight. It's not working. I have one more trick, and it's going to sound stupid. I mean, I could use fire too, and we'll start with the fire, but if that doesn't work, then my last option is stick it in a bag and then stick it in a pot full of boiling water. I kind of hope there's a few people that just join in here and go, why the hell is he trying to start a knife on fire? Well, it has to have copper. That's the thing. That whole front scale that you're looking at is made out of copper. People get paid to ask questions. The knife wouldn't come apart. So I'm heating up the pivot. Whew, shit, that got hot. That's the wrong size. Hell yeah. Come on. Oh, you son of a bitch. Just a little bit more. No, it needed heat. Holy fuck. Oh my god. The amount of pressure I'm putting on this thing to make this work. Do I have a marker? Fine. No, if I leave a permanent mark, god damn. Can I get any luck? Please. Tell what's up. Please just come loose. You'll look beautiful when I'm done. I swear. It'll be my best project yet. But before that, fire. They put a shit ton of Loctite in there. So that's what I'm fighting against is Loctite. And with a screw that isn't super deep and a tip or a bit that I was about to say a tip. A bit that's busted. Give me just a sec. And no, we're not doing 1,000-degree knife versus on this channel. That is low effort content. We put effort into our shit. He's like, oh my god, I picked up a hot knife. It wasn't that hot, so. Let's use the lower quality stone to do this. Harbor Freight's closed right now. That's why I'm doing this. I'm working towards getting my dream knife. I'm not super close. I can tell you the build though. It is a Chris Reeve small Sabenza with glass blasted finish and a MIM pocket clip with the Insingo blade shape. It is roughly $540. That's how much it was last time I checked, anyway. So the plan would be I want that along with purple hardware, because purple, why not? Who doesn't like purple? So I got to mess around with the Sabenzas before I decided I wanted one. And the small Sabenza fits my hand a little better than I thought it would, so I'm just going to go with that instead of a full size. The full size is just more expensive, so I don't see the point in getting it. This sucks. You know what tool that they have that exists is that qualifies as a knife, yeah. They have this thing where you stick a bit into it, then you press it up against or into whatever you're trying to loosen up. Then you hit the back end with a hammer, and it has a cam lever that it rides against, and it twists it with the force that you're pressing down on it with. And they work really well for bringing shit like this loose. I just don't know where I would get that, and I don't know how much they cost. Anyway, my first knife was I believe it was an 8-tool aluminum scale Columbia multi-tool. And I owned it for a few months, went camping a bunch, and was carving with it. And while I was carving around the fire, it broke. So when that broke, everybody at camp watched it happen. And I was kind of just like, oh, well, there's nothing I can do about it now. And one of the family friends gave me a Victorinox Swiss Tech, or Swiss Champ, to replace it. Oh, so you'll tell me I can tighten this further, but I can't loosen it. Okay. Thanks, CRKT. I appreciate that so much. So it's called a manual impact. Where would I find one of those? And do they have them at Harbor Freight? AutoZone, Lowe's, Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart. Shit's $8. Yeah, but if I get it from Walmart, it's probably gonna be trash. What's Walmart's return policy on broken stuff? Walmart return policy on broken shit. You think I want to go to the Walmart app and look at my purchase history? Fuck that. Well, typically they don't give a shit here. I was just curious what the actual policy was, and by the looks of it, they'll accept just about any damaged or defective items, depending on how long ago you bought it. And considering I'll probably be using it for like a week, and if it's not broken by then I might keep it. But if it's broken by then I'm returning that shit and buying a better one. Anyway, we're gonna sharpen this thing. It's sharp, but nope, never mind, that's sharp. Shaving sharp. So I'll admit I wasn't expecting it to be shaving sharp. So now we're kind of out of content. I can start the polishing process, I guess, but the polish isn't gonna stay. Q-tips. Candle. I will enjoy not being a tree. Okay, time for the polish. Oh, this is going to take a bit. Just metal polish. Same stuff that I usually use. I'm sure flits or anything like that would work just fine. Honestly, I need to polish this whole thing, so... This is so much harder without power tools, and especially when it's still all put together. This thing is not going to be fun to play with until it is taken apart. Well, that's a solid explanation of why this thing hasn't been taken apart yet. However, I will be looking into those manual impact things. I think this might be a really short stream. This one is not doing well. Go ahead and sharpen a knife while we're here. Give me something to do for a couple minutes. Not that anything that I have needs to be sharpened. I don't have much of anything to sharpen anyway. I mean, I could do touch-ups on my case. Oh, I can polish my case. Because there's more rust. Again, like there always is. Then we can cut some grapes on it. And we'll do another patina. So for a touch-up on the case, all we're going to need is the fine DMT and the strops. I don't even think I need to use the stone. I think it just needs the strop and that's it. Did he get back to me already? Check out my Cash App real quick. Okay. Yeah, I can already tell that that thing's sharp. That's sharp. Okay, so from that, well, that's sharp already. It just needs polished. I am doing all right. A little bit of rust right there. All that discoloration is surface rust. So we're going to polish that off. And then we will we'll do a forced patina with grapes. Yep, there's still a little bit of surface rust right there. Same spot. There's a lot more of it right up here. Okay. Now we are going to wipe it off with a cloth over here. Nice and clean. Now we're going to fix that. Okay. Got a bowl of grapes. And now we're going to do the forced patina. So again, you grab a bowl of grapes. You probably won't need the whole thing, but you're going to be waiting a while, so you might as well have a snack. And you're going to grab a grape and you're going to cut it in half. And then make sure that all the juice stays on the knife. Ground fog, what's up? There we go. And now we let it sit there for a while. I'm going to wait 5 minutes. From now. Wonder how long it took for them to come up with grapes that don't have seeds. I guarantee you people are showing up wondering why I have a knife covered in grapes and then just leaving. The 1870s. Interesting. Never would have guessed that seedless grapes were that old. So a company called Sharpo has sent me some diamond films, some diamond lapping films for sharpening purposes. We'll see how that goes. wonder if chat's broken. That's why I'm not seeing anything. Nope, just nobody talking. Okay. Willing to bet if I had more expensive knives on the table, people would probably say something. Oh, we're closing in on the time for me to pull the grapes off. Go to bed, Emily. All right, time to pull the grapes off. And we'll see how it turned out. Now we let it sit for another 5 minutes. Then we wash it off. Then after that, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Yep. They're less expensive ones, but they're real. The expensive ones are in the box that are down by the table. To those of you who were in here like 6 or 7 minutes ago, when I said I'll bet you if I put more expensive knives on the table, people will say something. I was right. How did I end up with 10 likes? Like, I'm not even doing anything. I'm not going to complain. I'm just wondering how it happened. We got another 2 minutes until I have to check this to see how the patina is coming along. Then I clean it, and it started off with a polished stonewash finish, and it should be a darkened stonewash finish after that. That's a full-size military. These two are PM or para threes, but that is a full-size military. Got a pair of two actually. I can show you the size difference. Grape juice. Okay. So this one is a liner lock as well, not the compression lock. Yep, the full-size military is a liner lock. And it is a lot bigger than people think it is. Almost a 4-inch blade. Gonna be honest, if it's frozen, there isn't much I can do for you. And chances are, if you're saying it's frozen, you're not gonna hear what I'm saying right now, so. I mean, to be completely fair, you're not wrong. Nothing is happening. Oh, that showed up great. Awesome. I am doing just fine. How are you? Quite the size difference as you go up. I don't know, I like the everyday carry stuff. Spyderco's always treated me great, but slip joints have a special place in my heart because they're so simple, fun to play with, and a lot of them are really, really easy to sharpen. I can't find an everyday use for karambits other than like opening packages and opening mail. But for my regular stuff, this does it all right there. And then for food related, I stick with this. I have a few Spydercos. That'll change here pretty soon. I'm going to sell a bunch of them. Ooh, favorite steel. I like that question. My favorite steel is 154 cm. It's a nice sweet spot between ease of sharpening and decent edge retention. Sharpens up nice and quick. S30V is alright, but most of the S30V on the market is overpriced. Maximate has been fun to play with. There isn't much more to say about it other than that, it's really hard, but it holds an edge forever, so as long as you don't make any mistakes. If you make a mistake, then you may have trouble sharpening it. I have one Italian stiletto, but it is upstairs in another room, and I really don't want to go grab it. But yeah, it's an Italian mini stiletto made by Aster. Now, if we're talking about push button autos, I've got a couple of those, but I don't consider them all switchblades. When I think of switchblades, I think Italian stiletto. You know, I do have a lot better sharpening tools than I did when I first tried sharpening this thing. So I think we're going to sharpen the Kershaw launch real quick. I think you are a little far behind on the stream. You're probably about 15 to 18 seconds behind. If I'm not doing anything and I'm looking at the stream, I'll answer within 5 seconds. Unless it takes a little bit to think about. Yep, that's all. Is what working? My favorite lock is... That's a really good question, too. I don't know. Yeah, I'm supposed to soak this thing, but I really don't want to leave the room. But I don't think that I have enough water in here to soak it. Favorite locking mechanism. It's not the axis lock. Okay. Not so mysterious. I appreciate that. Give me a sec to think about it. I gotta go soak this in water real quick, and I'll come back with an answer to that question. Okay, so I'm a fan of a solid frame lock. Frame locks are pretty good to me. Liner locks are up there. I like the compression lock a lot from Spyderco. And if it's done right, then a button lock is pretty solid. But I think in the first place, I'm going to go with compression lock, then frame lock. Oh, just another minute, and then I can pull it out and start working on it. I am doing just fine. How are you doing, Kodiak? about to start sharpening, so I don't have a whole lot of fixed blades, no. One of the few ones that I do have is a Rat 5. Would you quit forcing me to soak the table and just stay wet, please? I'm re-sharpening my Launch 5. It's got a chip right there. No, it is mostly water, 1 drop of Dawn dish soap, and just enough isopropyl alcohol to cover the bottom. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff over here that I really don't want wet. Fine, water bottle it is. Okay. I think that's enough. By enough, I meant that's way more than enough. But it never does what I want it to when I want it to do it, so... You know, I should probably be going with the 140 grit instead of trying to reprofile on a 400. looking good. For anybody that's just dropping in, we are sharpening out a few chips in the blade. We'll see you later, Logan. Have a good one. Not so mysterious. I'm going to assume that you went to try and find another live stream that was entertaining, and you were scrolling so much that you didn't find anything and just ended up right back here. Was that an accurate guess? Oh, damn. I got it wrong. Oh. So I wasn't even close then. Usually I'm pretty close. The chips are almost gone. Well, that's the first time I've been that far off, so congratulations. Nope. Anything to do with a stick or a ball, I was not very good at. Except for volleyball. I was pretty good at volleyball as a kid. So back when I was a kid, we played 21 round matches like they do in, I think they do that in the Olympics. And I had this fun thing where I was really good at controlling where the ball went when I hit it. So I'd serve, and the other team wouldn't hit it. So it hit the ground in their side of the court, and then we'd get a point. And I came up with a term that I called blackjack when I got 21 serves in a row. I think I've only done it like once or twice, but I got 21 serves in a row without anybody on the other team hitting anything. And I pissed somebody off like really, really bad. So I don't think I've ever seen a kid that mad before. It was a boarding school. Freaking expensive to be there. It was stupid. It was my fault I was there, but it was still stupid. You skate? Yeah, the first time I tried skating, I got on the board, on the skateboard, and busted my ass. I'm not terrible on a longboard, but just getting on a skateboard and I bust my ass every single time. So I've come to terms with the fact that I will never be good on a skateboard. And if you're talking about ice skating, I busted my ass ice skating too. So if you do either of those things, you're more coordinated than I am. I'm going to call that good enough. We'll take the burr off real quick. Actually, we'll just move up a grade. 140. Really, really aggressive. Then we're flopping over to a 600. Yep. Okay. We're done with the 600, so we'll wipe that off. Then we will move up to the 1200. And then we will strop. It is a mix of, I'll explain it. Here's, so in this, it's a, how many ounce thing? 2 fluid ounce thing, okay? What I did was I filled the bottom with it just until the whole bottom was covered with 70% isopropyl alcohol. And then I put 1 drop of Dawn dish soap and then filled up the rest with water, and then you shake it. So it's not super aggressive alcohol scent, but it evaporates a little quicker, which I like that. I don't know if everybody else likes that, but I like that. And then the Dawn dish soap helps with lubrication. So does the water. Sounds like you're having issues with the YouTube live stream stuff. And yes, I do sell knives. Appreciate you asking. I don't normally bring it up. Lately I've been bringing it up more, but sometimes I forget. So depending on if you're in the States or if you're out of the States, a good 48% of the people that watch my content are in the United States and the rest aren't. So I have to clarify that I will sell directly to the lower 48, which does not include Alaska and Hawaii. Any other state I will sell directly to happily. The knives that I have up for sale, there are links on my channel that you can click on. The 4th link is called Blade Binge Australia, so you'd have to buy through Blade Binge, and I don't know how much shipping would be. But I do have stuff that is for sale on Blade Binge. I should ask the Blade Binge AI bot if they would allow me to ship to Australia. All right, Blade Binge AI, help me out. Can I ship from the US to Australia? You're not very helpful. Oh, yeah. The shipping platform on our site is international. So, yeah. I should be able to ship to Australia. You do have to pay attention to your local knife laws, though. That is not something that I want to take responsibility for. And I hate to say it this way, but if you're in Australia, it would probably be cheaper to buy from a company that sells knives in Australia than buying directly from me. Because I can already tell you shipping down there is going to be insane. Yep. Always happy to help when I can. Okay, stropping time. And that right there, you being in Australia, might explain the 20-second gap between you asking a question and me answering it. I'm what, like 8,000 miles away or something? Paper test. Yep, there's still that chip. The chip's smaller though, so well, shipping from America to Australia, that's going to be pricey. Yep, I try and do my best on these things. Where'd my water go? I have not. I've been to Mexico and no, I think I've only been to Mexico. That's the farthest I've been out of the country, which isn't all that far, but more than most of the people I met. Mexico was all right. Didn't have any problems while I was there. I've been there a few times. I've got 22 people in here wondering what the hell I'm doing. Oh, you mean the over exaggerated Australian accent from TV? For some reason, that kind of surprises me. Apparently, Canadians don't have that stereotypical Canadian accent either. And they don't say a lot. A thief? What's up? How's it going? Yeah, British people do have that though, but Canadians don't have the accent than you'd think they'd do. Oh, we say stupid shit and act like we know what we're talking about way too much. I know that much. I'm saying that because I do it. But at least I look it up to verify what I'm saying, unlike most people. And when I'm wrong, I'm willing to admit it. That's the other thing. Not many people do that. You guys have Amazon down in Australia, right? I'm assuming you do, and the only reason I assume that is because they're in a lot of countries. And yeah, I enjoy America. You know what I think the coolest thing about Australia is the what are they called? The semi trains. When they've got like one semi truck hauling 9 or 10 trailers. That's just beyond believable to me. There's so many laws here that would prevent that from happening. And yeah, North Korea, I don't think has very many companies from the US, if any. Just the thought of seeing a semi truck with 10 trailers behind it blows my mind. And I would love to see it someday. The fact that somebody down there just decided, eh, why take 2 trucks when I could just take the one? Or why take 3 when we could just take one? I could imagine that getting in the way of traffic, yes. Just a friendly reminder to anybody watching. One of you recommended that I use graphite as a lubricant. Whoever you are, I hope you stub your toe on the nightstand. I'm still cleaning that shit out of this. Oh, we don't have double-decker buses here. I don't think I've ever seen one in person anyway. If they are here. Yeah, I don't think we have them here. And if we do, they're privately owned. It's not like a business that's running them. I'll agree some of the stuff here is cheap, but some stuff's starting to get a little pricey. Housing's insane. I mean, the average house in my state right now, I think, is like $400,000. A couple years ago, it was 600,000 though. We had that same issue here. I think we got milk that went up to like, let's see, when I checked at its peak, it was like $6 a gallon. Which at that point in time, milk was more expensive than gasoline and diesel. Not only that, 1 gallon of milk cost almost as much as 1 gallon of gasoline and 1 gallon of diesel combined. You know it's getting bad when the food's more expensive than transportation. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand how lucky I am to be where I'm at. I completely understand that. But when I complain about issues, I complain about issues relative to my country. And I don't typically compare them to other countries because I don't know what it's like to be in other countries right now. Woohoo. I've got a broom. Can you get a follow? That's up to other people in the comments if they want to follow you. What kind of content do you make? Hmm. Give me just a second. I'm curious. Hmm. I think so. I'm gonna give you some insight on random people following you. When you gain a new follower, your content will be pushed to your followers first. If the people who follow you don't watch your content consistently, then it will not be recommended consistently to people that don't follow you. This is where you'll notice some of your videos have, let's see, 57, 54, 9, 46, stuff like that, where people swipe away quickly. I've also, just based off the one video I watched, I'll watch a couple more, but you got to have a hook when making content. Something that gets people's attention and keeps them watching. Something provocative, say something interesting. Something that provokes emotions or gets people to want to continue watching. So, what would I recommend for skating content? Because it kind of seems like you've got a faceless channel at the moment, which isn't a problem. So do I. And my channel's doing decent so far. Um, the unfortunate part about YouTube that you'll start to understand as you get further into it is it's a lot more expensive than people think it is. Keeping modern and consistent content with trends that are going on at the moment costs a lot of money. And I've come to figure over the almost 3 years that I've been doing this, I've spent 3,000, $3,000 to $4,000 around there. It gets very expensive very quickly. Same thing with every hobby. The further you get into it, the more expensive it gets. Not every hobby is going to make you money either. YouTube has the potential to do so. Now, something that I've noticed is I don't like TikTok, okay, but you can gain followers significantly faster on TikTok than you can on YouTube for doing absolutely nothing. And what I mean by that is people want, sure, if you post for the fun of it, then yeah, just continue doing that. If you ever decide that you're going to start taking it as as something that could potentially make you money, expect to be, and unless you do something that goes insanely viral, expect to be spending around $10,000 before you start making any decent amount of money. And I'm not trying to push you away from the idea of doing it at all. I'm just telling you, if I turned on monetization right now, I wouldn't be able to pay for almost anything that the channel does. The amount of money that I would be receiving from YouTube would be so minuscule that it wouldn't be worth it. And then on top of that, I have to pay taxes on it too. No, at the moment, I do not make money on YouTube. I have the potential to do it right now. I could turn monetization on. I just didn't because I don't like doing taxes. That's literally the main reason. Is it's just an additional, what, I'm gonna get like maybe $10 a month, which I'd be grateful for, but that $10 a month I'll be paying taxes on it too. And I gotta find a way to keep track of all that, and I really don't want to do that. Keeping what the channel owns and what I own separate is hard enough as it is. The channel has its own finances that I keep separate from mine. So YouTube gets complicated. That felt weird. Anyway, if you do want to grow your channel though, I guess my first recommendation is follow the trends, just don't do anything stupid. I don't need you doing something that could maim, hurt, or possibly kill you because it's trending at the moment. Use common sense when making content. But when a trending song shows up, when a new trending song shows up, you might as well use it. I noticed on your most I don't know what's trending right now because I don't pay attention to trends on YouTube because I don't care. I find trending music annoying for me, but yeah, exactly. Oh, no shit. And it's dropped again, obviously. As stupid as that new think it's Travis Scott song, Sounded. A lot of people that used it got a lot of views. Genuinely, my least favorite song of the summer. I can't talk about my job, unfortunately. I'm working on getting a job that I can actually talk about, but at the moment I can't talk about my current job. I have signed paperwork that doesn't allow me to talk about my job. So yeah, every time that a new song comes out, you might as well use it. I don't, because I just don't like conforming to other people's trends. It's not my thing. But it is a fast way of growing your channel. It's all up to you on how you want your channel to grow. Of course, none of the tips or ideas that I gave you are going to be detrimental in any way. It should all help. But it all depends on how you want your channel to grow. I'll be honest with you. The reason I like knives is because they're shiny. That's that's the whole thing that got me into them. Is this is shiny and sharp? Hell, that's great right there. And then it just got expensive from there. I think the first year that I did YouTube, I spent a total of like 600. And then this last year and a half combined added up, and now we're like probably around 3,500 total. A lot of my money goes into the channel. Oh yeah, there's tons of different knives. There's no way to collect all of them. Anyway, I think I'll go for another 9 minutes and then I'm going to end the stream and go watch YouTube. Because that's what I do after my streams, is watch other people. So unfortunately, I went out and bought some Spyderco scales yesterday that won't fit the Spyderco lightweight knives. So now I've got to find a Spyderco with G10 scales that are just ruined, and then I can swap out for new scales. I'll keep them, I'm not going to complain about it, but that was my fault for not doing the research first. I definitely should have done the research. I always recommend that you should do research before you start making financial decisions. Now they were only 15 bucks, but 15 bucks is a decent amount to me, so. And honestly, no, I'm not going to put them on that one. But I'll find something for these things to go on. And I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. Hopefully you learned a thing or two. Now, do we have... How long is it going to take for me to fill in one more blade steel on the... in the knife, or in the blade steel book? If you want to learn how to sharpen knives, I recommend going to a YouTube channel called Outdoors 55. His name's Alex. He's the one that taught me almost everything that I've learned. Really, really good at teaching. He's got a great attitude, doesn't act like he knows everything. That's why I like him. Okay, so I follow Mystery Knives only because I don't trust them. And I've watched a lot of their videos, and every single one that I watch is either somebody returned every knife that they've ever sold, and it sounds so stupid to me. That's the premise of their content. And say free box to get a free box, and I don't think anybody has ever received a free box from them. And the reason I say that is because it doesn't make sense. And they don't sell very good stuff either. Which sucks to say, but I'm going to be honest about it. And Lou, you don't have to be a turd all the time, you know? S45 CM. Hmm. Oh, I thought S45VN was older than that. And it doesn't have that many materials or elements in it either. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I don't know. S45 is supposed to be a tougher version of S35. Oh, that 6-7 bullshit. They just sound stupid when they say it, too. My sister said everybody says that at her school too. Supposedly, it's supposed to mean so-so. Kind of like, how you doing? So-so. But everybody that says it sounds like an idiot, so I'm not 100% sure on that. 2. Well, every generation can shut up. Like, Grandma, Grandpa, Mom, Dad, I don't need you telling me how you walked to school every single day and it was uphill both ways, 40 miles there and then 20 miles home. If grandparents want to listen to me blabber about knife steals all the time, then they can feel free to do so. Anyway, it's been 2.5 hours. I planned on ending the stream an hour and a half ago, so probably going to end it here. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. I'll be streaming tomorrow sometime, and again, try and stream daily. But yeah, we'll see you guys later. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day, night, morning, whatever it is. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.